They took me to court to try and gag us in field.
Court case now over. As you can see, I'm not in my suit now. I'm in my old knockabout clothes, and I'm actually on one of my allotments. And the case, if you heard what the 5G protesters were saying at the end of the case, you would have thought they'd actually won. But what's actually happened is that the injunction, most of the injunction against the individual concerned, as Mark Steele, has been upheld. And he is now, the injunction says that he is not allowed to harass or intimidate individuals from the council, staff or councillors. And obviously the example of the ambush they did on me when they filmed me whilst on private property, I might add, whilst shouting and screaming abuse at me. That was that video that they made themselves and put up on the internet was actually part of the evidence that was used to make sure that the injunction challenge was in effect failed. The important thing is that the injunction didn't stop the individuals concerned from believing what they want to believe and to say what they want to say about the things that they believe. So no gagging order, and I think the judge was absolutely right to make sure that there wasn't anything that could be construed as gagging people. And as I said this morning before I went to court, we don't want to silence people. They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
The British government tried to gag me because I'm a weapons systems expert.
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5. The government have never tried to silence Mark Steele, and he is far from being called any type of weapons expert after his stint in jail in 1993 for shooting an innocent teenaged girl in the head in an act of drunken bravado when Steele was working as a pub doorman. And Mark Steele break down videos of street lights that he calls 5G weapon systems are just laughable to anyone with a bit of basic electrical knowledge.
Well, here once again, is obviously they're still not getting it. So the 450 volt capacitors are not interested. What they want to know is, right, how much I can make a fool of them. All right, with a 3,300 watt relay. So some complete. Well, what are they?
That's just a simple relay. Relays are electrically operated switches that open and close the circuits by receiving electrical signals from outside sources. Seeing how you have in front of you a Telensa universal streetlight controller, you would expect to find a relay to turn the lights on and off.
Touch on, because I always like to keep the good bit to last. Right, so that we can really smash these complete, what I call them, know-it-alls, ignorant know-it-alls, and don't know a weapon when they see one, like I do, right, know-it-alls. You see that there? Let's see if we can get a close-up of it. That's what's called a supercapacitor. Alright, that's a supercapacitor. If you can see the numbers on it, alright, just have a look at that. See how many farad that is. Alright, that's a supercapacitor. They are absolutely worth fortunes.
That is just a simple supercapacitor. They are a high-capacity capacitor, with a capacitance value much higher than solid-state capacitors, but with lower voltage limits. They act just like a rechargeable battery, so in case of power loss, the device can keep its setting. And these 5.5 volt 0.22 farad capacitor are not as expensive as Mark Steele make out. They can be brought for pennies from AliExpress.
And I told them, these electromagnetic radiation weapons are lethal. They failed in gagging us, and that's why I'm here today.
They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
To warn the public, get involved, start resisting, they're coming for your kids.
They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
They're coming for your property.
They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
The one out of vehicles.
They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
No holidays, all on the back of a climate hoax, all caused by ionospheric radiators and stratospheric aerosol injection.
They are free to believe what they want to believe, whether there's any evidence for it or not.
Lock up, say the chemtrails. It's not difficult, you've got 2 eyes. Anyway, I think I've said enough. Thanks everybody.